Hey everybody, and welcome to this episode of Romantasy Roundtable, a tale of Rick and Roses. My name is Rick, and I'm joined with my roses.
Amanda.
And Kim.
And as always, we'd appreciate it if you consider liking this video. We would really love it if you subscribe. We're over 100 subscribers now, so we're doing great. So please subscribe, and we would love if you would drop us a message in the comments, shoot us an email at romantasyroundtable@gmail.com. So yes, please like, subscribe, and shoot us an email. It really helps out our channel, the likes and the subscribe, especially when you shoot us a comment, just like our good friend Jamie does, who has a bunch of things.
Hi, Jamie.
Hi, Jamie. We have a bunch of different things to catch up on. He sent us many messages.
Yeah, that's because I listened to our bonus episode. It's just us talking to Jamie.
Hey, look, I beg everyone else, if your name isn't Jamie, actually, even if your name is Jamie and you're not from Australia, please let us.
Or if you are from Australia.
If you interact with us, we will interact back with you.
Yes.
So interact with us is the moral of the story.
Even if it's an old episode. Listening. Oh, yeah, good. That's
Julia's
good.
Been listening.
She's been reading it. She gave the tandem read 5 stars. Actually, no, she gave it 100 stars.
She did. Another fan for Tower of Dawn.
She loved. I knew she was going to love Tower of Dawn. Okay, we'll do the Jamie comments and then I'll talk about Julia.
All right. So, let's see. He says that yes, that is his profile pic. Haha. Very old though, needs to be updated. So Jamie owns a snake. Let's see.
Or he just lives in Australia and there are just.
No, thank you, please.
Oh, wait. Jamie, if you're listening to this, which I hope you are, what's the biggest spider you've ever seen?
Oh, that's a good question.
Oh, that ties into Throne of Glass. Was it a Stygian spider?
No, it's a Kalankui. Let's see. Question number 1. Does Rick only wear tank tops? Yes. Rick only wears tank tops. Rick has 2 temperatures, very hot or very cold. For the most part, it's often very hot.
Tell us about the protest you staged about the dress code at school.
Oh, yeah. Show. So for a very long time, the handbook and our head of school said we are not allowed to wear shorts. Hey, let's see. I think my Walgreens prescription is ready. We weren't allowed.
And this is, we should say, like, I know lots of schools and certainly lots of companies have like much more strict dress codes than we do. But like we're certainly in the upper school, like teachers dress like students. Yeah. Obviously, like our boobs aren't hanging out and like I wouldn't wear something. But like I wear jeans to work every single day. Yeah. I wear leggings to work Fridays.
Yeah, right? I was like anything you see us wearing on the pod, we could wear at work.
I would not wear this shirt to work because it is very much a crop top. But if it was a longer shirt, I would wear it all the time.
So we had this rule we weren't allowed to wear shorts. And I was like, well, why? And in the handbook, it was like, you can wear skirts. And I went to the head of school and I was like, no shorts. And she was like, no. But skirts okay. And she was like, yes. And I said, challenge accepted. So from like April, because that's when I started to get hot, till June for 2 years in a row, I wore skirts. Like these like, go ahead.
You would think like when he told me he was going to do this, I was like, okay, so he's going to buy like cute, flowy maxi skirts.
Right.
This man bought the most obnoxious, like $6 pastel pink and blue skater skirts. And he wore them over his shorts so that the shorts were visible.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I stepped into them. Like you could just step into them and slide them up. And they're great.
Yeah, and he would like kept them at work and he would like put them on once he got to work.
And the kids supported me.
Yeah, the kids were like, this is such a great protest and such a great like middle finger to gender roles.
Yeah. So we got a new head of school and I remember like I walked in with my skirt and he looked at me and I looked at him and I was like, can we have a talk about this?
And it was like
months, like the next month we got changed.
Yeah, truly.
Well, and so first and foremost, so I am on school-wide leadership. For those of you who don't know, that's part of my role. And it was discovered that it hadn't actually been in the handbook since 2019. So the handbook at some point had gotten an update and somebody had taken out the shorts rule. And so actually it was already no longer in the handbook. We all could have been wearing shorts all along.
Which is when the dress code for students was abolished. So I wonder if they updated it at that time.
And nobody noticed.
But Rick asked the old head of school, and
multiple
she
times.
said, yeah, and she was like, no. She also, when we abolished the student dress code, was really the biggest thing was that she really didn't want bra straps showing. And I was like, I actually remember me saying to a student who then said it to her, I would rather you see that I'm wearing a bra than see that I'm not. And I live and die by that. Anyway, that's how Rick feels about. Congratulations on his protest. I just thought everyone should hear that story.
And also,
it's legend.
It was a decision that was brought in front of the senior leadership also. And it was literally framed as, okay, can we all wear shorts so Rick can stop wearing those stupid skirts?
And like we are a K-12.
Our big boss, Beth, framed it. She was like, we have to have Rick stop wearing those stupid skirts. Can we all just say that we can wear shorts?
Like, we are a K-12 institution. We're small, but like, we probably have like 200 employees. Like, and Rick really, he did this for all of us. Thank you, Rick.
You're welcome. But that was literally my point. I was like, this is stupid, and I need to show everyone how stupid this is. Like, that's literally why I did it. Anywho, yes, I only wear tank tops when I record in this upstairs room. This is like my second room. There's no air conditioner here because the guinea pigs next door have it, so it gets really hot.
It's not a man cave because it's not in the basement. It's a man
nest.
Yes, because it's in the attic.
Correct.
I call it so Sarah's room. My best friend Sarah, her room is in the attic, and so I call it her girl airy.
Oh, that's good. Shit, that was really good.
It's his airy.
Jamie says the box is the 18-yard box. Must be an American thing for it to be the penalty box. Oh, that's cool. All right. The smaller one inside this one is the 6-yard box. So everywhere outside of America, they call it the 18-yard box, or maybe it's Australia, I don't know, and the 6-yard box. Also, at the time of this listening, Monday morning here, I don't know how to say this guy's name. I don't watch soccer. Is it Balogun? Balogun has just had his
That's how he says it. That's not the proper Nigerian way to pronounce it, but that's how he pronounces it, and I'm going to pronounce it the way he pronounces it. It's Balogun. Yeah.
Sure. Balogun has red card nullified. If the U.S. lose to Belgium, I now expect them to change the outcome of the match alongside this BS ruling. Congratulations on winning the World Cup, I guess. Well, we lost to Belgium. We did not have it changed. We just reminded everyone that we do, in fact, suck.
Yeah, I mean, look, the red card itself was bullshit, and then the use of VAR in that circumstance was questionable in terms of whether that was an appropriate use of it, like making the decision on the slow-mo, and then the fact that they overturned the suspension was also bullshit. But I thought Thierry Henry said it best when he was like, it's bullshit from start to finish, basically, and also told Alexi Lalas to suck it, basically, which was incredible. And shoot, I had something else to say. We're officially a soccer nation now because we have a little bit of FIFA corruption for ourselves. You know?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, apparently.
Also, we all agree, and Jamie, we feel this acutely as the three of us here. Fuck Trump. So, who cares about him making a phone call?
Yeah.
That was so stupid. What the hell is going on? I hear some banging. I don't know what it is.
The guinea pigs?
It's not the guinea pigs. Let's see. What breed is Bartholomew?
Excellent question. So Bartholomew is a Scottish straight. If you are a fan of Taylor Swift, she has Scottish folds, which is the same breed, except that one has a genetic mutation that causes the ears to fold, and then the other doesn't have that, and so their ears are straight. So
that's what Benjamin Swift Kelsey is?
Yes.
The newest one?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, because the genetic mutation actually also causes a degenerative nerve condition that causes pain for cats, and so the straights don't have that, so hopefully he won't have pain. Quick sidebar, though. I do know Bartholomew's backstory now. As a reminder for longtime listeners, I adopted him a year ago. He was a rescue cat, and I now know that he was adopted from a backyard breeder in South Brooklyn who surrendered all of her cats in backyard breeding situation just a couple weeks ago, and they discovered that there were 84 cats in
Google it. This shit is crazy. Like, it is such an insane story.
It's insane. And this is where,
wild.
unfortunately, so I now know his backstory, and I love him that much more, and also understand his craziness that much more. Because, wow, he grew up in a hellhole.
Yeah, and we're glad those cats are now getting the help they need.
And our last comment from Jamie, which will lead right into what we were reading anyway, is I really enjoyed reading about Maeve as a character. I always love a good villain, but having one so arrogant, confident, and this powerful was brilliant. Yeah, no, I have to agree. I don't know, up until the Tower of Dawn, which is basically, I guess, one of the last books, I always had a big question mark about Maeve. Like, I guess even going into Kingdom of Ash, I still have these question marks. Like, is she going to be good? Is she going to be bad? But we know she's a wild queen. So no bueno.
Sorry, I'm asking Julia to send a voice note about Tower of Dawn.
Yeah, I will say, and I also messaged this to Julia after she posted her post of 1,000 stars out of 5 for the tandem read, is the beginning of Kingdom of Ash, I think I've said this before, is my favorite. Like, the whole that we're about to get into, this whole torture sequence between Aelin and Maeve, I just think is like so masterful and like horrifying to read, like so effing horrifying, but also just is like so engrossing.
I inhaled the first 40%, 30% of this book. Like, it has taken me 2 weeks to read. Well, I was sick for a long time last week. I had a 6-day long migraine. It has taken me 2 weeks to read 40% of Crescent City. It took me a day and a half to read 30% of Kingdom of Ash. I just like.
Yeah. Let's get into it.
Like, it's so much about Maeve, like just seeing and understanding just like how effing powerful she is.
It's crazy.
And just like her hold that she's able to have over Aelin in these chapters is just.
And they don't know she's Vogue yet.
Right.
Wait, you haven't told us where you are.
Oh, yeah. Where are you? Kimberly.
Oh, where am I?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because clearly I'm not home. And as I've said to you guys, clearly I have like been out at the pool because like what the hell is happening with my little hair here? Yeah, I am coming to you live from the Canary Islands currently.
And I keep thinking she's in Easter Island, which is a different place.
I am 60 miles off the coast of Africa currently, off the coast of Western Sahara, on a volcanic island, Lanzarote. Here I am.
All right.
It's beautiful.
And Rick was down at the shore this week, so they both are on spectacular vacations. And I have been a professional bride. I've been doing a lot of stuff.
And Jamie, I am watching this game tonight. Tonight is the England-Norway game, and I am rooting for Norway. I'm rooting against my ancestral people. And I am in enemy territory because this resort is like 90+% Brits.
Amanda's saying something. Yes, I have no more affiliation to a country in this World Cup. However, I am rooting for that Thor guy.
Holland.
I have long loved Erling Haaland, and I am loving what?
Although I did read that they're all getting sick.
He's not.
Okay.
Because he eats like a caveman.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Did you all see the video that he had made in 2022 for Man City when he was the only Man City player that didn't go to the World Cup?
Wandering around alone.
Right.
I did see something before we start that it's again, I don't watch soccer, but some comment or something on Reddit I saw said the only bad thing about Holland right now is that now everyone will be a Man City fan.
That's true. So I'm a big supporter of New York City FC, who are owned by City Football Group, who owns Man City. So I've like loosely followed Man City for a while. I wouldn't say I'm a fan. I don't really have a Premier League team, but now I feel like I need to lean into it. And I understand it's corporate football and like blah blah blah, but I already know all the chants because they're the same as ours. So I don't know. I think a lot of people are going to have a lot of feelings about that. People have a lot of feelings about Man City, but I don't know. I'm already giving a lot of my money to corporate football, so might as well just lean into it.
All right. Let's do it.
And now let's talk about our book.
Yeah, we have a lot.
So we're reading Kingdom of Ash. We were like, why is this such a long section? And then I realized it's because Kingdom of Ash is actually split into 2 parts, and part 1 is much longer than part 2. And so this episode is the first half of part 1. So it's 30% of the book. The second episode will be the second half of part 1. So it's 30% of the book, and then it'll be 20 and 20.
All right.
Shall we?
Yes. It's SJM, so there's a whole lot that's going to happen.
Lots happening. All right. First chapter is called The Prince. Meet Rowan, who's been off the grid for months doing exactly one thing, hunting for his mate across violent seas, ancient forests, and storm-burned mountains. Because apparently the honeymoon phase looks different when your wife gets kidnapped by a queen. He's dragging his companions along for the ride, feeding himself just enough to function and sending soul messages down the mating bond like an increasingly unhinged voicemail. I will find you. Before he's even rescued anyone, he's already plotting to take down the Dark Queen who stole her, then circle back for the gods themselves. Rowan does not do small revenge lists. The princess. Meanwhile, Aelin is having considerably less fun, locked in an iron coffin, dragged to a river temple, and tortured on a rotating schedule by people who want her blood oath and her secrets. She copes by reciting a childhood story to herself on loop and staring down Fenrys, the chained white wolf forced to witness everything, because even immortal torture chambers apparently need a witness. Every ounce of pain gets buried under one stubborn thought: she will not break, will not swear the oath, and will absolutely not give the Dark Queen the satisfaction. Pyrrhic victory energy before we've even hit chapter 1. I thought this was such a poetic way to bring us back into this story. Imagining that people have waited to get to this point and haven't read it over the course of what's actually been many months for us, but would be shorter if we weren't doing all the other things, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is good.
I mean, we can talk more about Fenrys. All right, chapter 1.
We will.
Back in Terrasen, Aedion is doing tactical archery in a blizzard, ambushing a pack of Balg scouts in the Staghorns alongside Ren Allsbrook and a very committed Lysandra, who's been cosplaying as Aelin for 2 months without anyone clocking the missing pyromania. The demons get shredded, literally, courtesy of Lysandra's ghost leopard form. I'm really trying to say Lysandra. I keep not saying it. But the real drama is Aedion refusing to acknowledge Lysandra's existence in her human skin because he's still furious she lied to him. Add sweet Evangeline, a gut punch letter revealing Erewhon just leveled Eldris, and Aedion's ominous, how many can your wyvern form carry? Terrasen's war just went from theoretical to now. Kim, you said this in the last episode. Aedion's being a little bitch.
Hate him.
He's being such a bitch.
Yeah.
Just give it up, dude. Like, this is, like, she is doing this for you and your kingdom. How dare you treat her like this?
And we needed some, I mean, I don't know, like at some point in any story, you need some sort of conflict. And I wonder if I think we all agree, like, the reason why he's doing this is really dumb. Why he's like, so I wonder if SJM didn't really have a bigger place to go with it, except just make him a little bitch for now. I don't know.
I'm just thinking, like, remember back to when he really wanted to take the blood oath and then Rowan took the blood oath. And this is kind of how I expected him to act then, and he didn't. So in my head, Aelin, I wish if this headcanon were true, I wish Sarah would just like write it this way. But like, this has been building up since then, where he's like, I have been nothing but loyal. I have been by your side the entire time, and you keep hiding things from me. But that rage is directed towards Aelin, not Lysandra. And so it's like, I think it's directed towards Lysandra, A, because she's there, and B, because, like, I don't know about you guys, but, like, it's easier for me to get mad at people that I know won't leave me. So like this person who like clearly loves you, it's like easier, I think, to rage at that person than at the real issue. But
it's like, how much is she sacrificing for this?
Yeah.
You know, he's like not acknowledging that at all.
But
Like,
also, like, how stupid are these people that like Aelin hasn't done any fire?
Right.
Yeah.
And that like becomes like a little bit of a thing later, but like when
Aelin,
they're fighting,
Aelin, we're cold. Can you light the campfire for us?
Like fire is the only thing that
kills, like
fire is the only thing that kills Volg, and she's just not using it. Like I don't know. There's a real flaw in the plan. But then I guess like I do also understand like the people would not have rallied behind her campaign had she not been there.
Right.
So, I get it. All right, chapter 2. Elide, Gavriel, and Lorcan are globetrotting with a nearly feral Rowan, tracking down Maeve's commanders one interrogation at a time, and it is not subtle. Rowan literally throws a guy through a window before Lorcan finishes the job with pure menace. Elide's stuck watching every brutal extraction because the goddess Aneath keeps whispering, watch, listen, in her ear, which is either divine guidance or the worst homework assignment ever. No leads on Maeve pan out, no ship, no port, no whisper, until one commander finally cracks, setting up the next stop in their increasingly grim scavenger hunt for their queen.
Also, listen to women, guys.
Was that this part or later?
Yeah, no, it was this commander who was like, go south to this place. And they were like, we must go south. And Elide is like,
I did told you.
Dornell.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was this part. Yeah, Elide was like, let's go to Dornell. They're like, nah.
They're like, they wouldn't put her there. That's too easy. And she's
that's stupid, you know? And it's like, no, listen to women. Like,
also, like, why wouldn't you start with the easiest answer?
Right. The most obvious is usually the answer.
Well, I think they said, I mean, I knew that going into this, but I think they actually did say like they were worried about it being too guarded.
And it was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Chapter 3, we check in on Aelin mid-torture, drifting between nightmares of a burning Lord of the North and the very real horror of Cairen, who's been looking at her with a hammer while Maeve keeps her drained on iron. She and Fenrys have a full silent blink code going. 4 blinks means I am here, I am with you. Somehow both devastating and the most functional communication system in this entire book. That's true. Cairen spots Rowan's mating mark on her neck, threatens to add his own teeth to the mix, and goes to work on her knee with that hammer. Cliffhanger delivered via scream.
Okay, so Rick has multiple times now used some variation of blink, 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 blink.
I said it
blink,
once.
Well, you said it like 6 months ago too. And I was mad at you both times because you're baiting Amanda for something that she didn't know yet, but now she does.
Blink,
and also,
blink, blink.
I have 2 stickers, Amanda, that were part of your...
Those are the ones you pulled.
Stickers that you got at BookCon that were about blinking. So I will give those back to you.
Yes. I brought those to your house last week and then I forgot to take them out. What was I going to say? Yeah, it just, when Rick talked about blinking and like, I feel like I've seen some murmurs of blinking, but I like dismissed it. I just like associated it with Doctor Who and with don't blink. And so I wasn't thinking yes, blink. I was thinking no blink.
Right.
Which is also
it's my least favorite, by the way, the
Whispering Angels. They're so scary.
I hate them.
And also like, that's a thing. I went on this like terrible date before in the stint of dating that led to me leading Tristan. The first guy I went on a date with in that stint of dating was horrible. And like the day that I ended things with him, he texted me and I quote, "Hey, whippersnapper, don't blink." And I said, "Oof, that's enough." So that's what I think in my head whenever we talk about blinking. Okay, I want to talk about Fenrys for a second.
Mm-hmm.
So Maeve severed the bond for Gavriel and Lorcan and like set them free, but she chose to force Fenrys to stay with Aelin and to witness the torture in his wolf form.
Mm-hmm.
And he can't communicate with her because he's wolf, and he can't speak to her because he's wolf, and he has to do whatever Cairen says, right? So like he can only go to the bathroom and like eat and drink or whatever, like when Cairen says so. And I don't know, like Fenrys was not Aelin's biggest fan. Like he didn't really have, like, I would say of the cadre, he was the one that like I had the least warm fuzzies for, like going into this. I didn't like dislike him, but I didn't really have any reason to like him. And so I think it's really interesting that he's the one that's like going on this journey with her, and that like she's really like in hell. And he is the only person that's there.
I mean, yeah, and he's in hell with her too. Like, yeah.
He's in hell. And my entire flight over here, I didn't sleep like a wink.
Socket the toy.
Socket butt.
Ooh, she got a bone.
Yes. So I ended up like spending far too much time thinking about like Fenrys in these chapters while I'm on the plane, and reflecting on the fact that I felt more like sadness for Fenrys than I did for Aelin, even though she's like getting fucking tortured. But the fact that he is a wolf and he's not being allowed to go to the bathroom without Cairen telling him to. And so she references the fact that she can like hear the wolf cries of like him being in pain. And I like feel more about that than I do about the fact that she's like getting her bones broken and her skin flayed off and like all these kinds of things.
I think the only thing worse than being tortured might be watching somebody you care about be tortured.
Yeah. But I'm just like imagining the canine yips of like him being in pain, and I'm just like.
And even anxious pups need the moon.
Right. I have a shirt that says that now. So
that's a good one. That's Noah Khan, Rick.
Mm-hmm. I went to the concert. I was sitting behind a pole.
You were saying that's not a pole; it's the pole.
Sitting behind the pole.
I went to the concert and I stood for 3 hours in the rain.
Yeah. My sister, I sent that the same image. This is about a Reddit post that I sent them this morning, which is that somebody was like, I was at the Noah Khan concert and I was stuck behind this pole the whole time. This pole, this Pesky's pole at Fenway. And I texted it to my sister and my dad too. And my sister was like, the Noah Khan show at Fenway should not be an away game. It is for locals only. And I was like, yes, see, Kim is permitted to attend. We would have been permitted to attend as New England diasporas. But yeah, man. The comments came and collected that person and was like, you put some respect on Pesky's pole.
Right. Very, very quick aside. Yes, I went to the Noah Khan concert, night 1, Fenway. It was amazing. The sky was crying just as much as everybody in the audience was. So we all were soaking wet. He had Fenway specific merch for the concerts, and it was like entirely sold out because they had been doing pre-sale merch before the concert started. But it was available on his store, but only if you were in a 50-mile radius of Boston. And you had to have a location check. And so you had to have your like location on in order for it to check that you were actually in the area before you could buy it. So I did, because I had left, gone to Maine, been with my sister, and then went to Logan so I could fly out of Logan. So while I was at Logan, I was obviously within 50 miles and used my dad's zip code because he lives on the North Shore of Massachusetts. So I'm a very proud owner now of all of the Boston specific merch, even though I did not actually buy it at the concert itself, but I was at the concert. But I love that. To all of my New England family and being within 50 miles of Boston that I could do that.
I really think he's dropping the ball, and it should just be called the Noah Concerts.
You're not wrong. I think you're.
So.
He's
I also like all the memes that were like having to explain to friends that don't live in New England that Logan is not a person.
Logan's not a person. Oh, I didn't even think about that people might think that about the song.
I didn't think about it either until I saw the memes, and I was like, oh, I get it. People didn't understand.
That's so funny. I texted my sister. Well, we don't have to talk about this. Okay. What else did I want to say? Oh, Noah Khan's playing in New York this weekend, and I keep being like, maybe the tickets will go down. They will not. Okay.
I'll be there on Sunday.
All right, we're on chapter 4, 30 minutes in.
All right. How many minutes in?
We are 30 minutes into this episode. We're on chapter 4 of 34.
Chapter 4. Manon and the 13 are 3 abandoned campsites deep into their croaken hunt, freezing, starving, and increasingly aware that Dorian Havillard makes an excellent tactical distraction and an even better secret nighttime disappearing act. Turns out he's been sneaking off for weeks to summon actual King Gavin with his own blood, because nothing says healthy coping mechanism like chatting up your 1,000-year-old dead ancestor about world-ending magic keys. Gavin finally caves and confirms the third word key is somewhere in Morath, but warns Dorian not to go yet. So naturally, expect him to ignore that within a few chapters.
Yeah.
Chapter 5, the road.
No, but he tells him to go, like, he says you'll know when it's time to go.
Yes.
Okay, keep on.
Chapter 5, the road trip crew debates Doranel versus Acadia as Maeve's likely hideout. A lead channels Anith's vague godly hints, and Lorcan finally admits he wasn't crawling after Maeve on that beach. He was crawling after Aelin, which earns him exactly 0 forgiveness points. I disagree.
Yeah.
I was really shocked that he crawled after Maeve. So I am like, all right, well, I'm still mad at you for summoning her, but now I'm less mad at you. All right. Rowan, meanwhile, has the sweetest and most gutting dream of his life, a pregnant Aelin and 4 kids, gone in an instant to a black wind because this book won't let anyone have nice things, even asleep. They commit to Acadia first. Is that how you say it?
I think so.
Like the national park? All while Rowan quietly panics that Maeve has severed the mating bond itself, and Fleetfoot just keeps living her best life, unbothered by the apocalypse.
Good girl.
Girl boss Easter egg this batch, Maeve's owl, who flinches at Connell's death and is honestly the only member of that entire veranda scene with a shred of soul. Wait, what?
Was that this part?
No.
No.
All right.
Fleetfoot's also not this part.
Yeah, exactly. This is all, yeah.
Fleetfoot's chilling with Evangeline.
Evangeline, yeah.
And Fleetfoot's like not on screen, but they do just like keep checking in with her to let us know that she's okay, which I really appreciate.
Agreed.
All right, chapter 6. Now we're like, I think this is the last round of our friends we need to check in on. Newlyweds Chaol and Yrene are having surprisingly great sex on a freezing warship, which is impressive given the life bond that means if he dies, she dies too. No pressure. Nezrin and Sartok go full recon power couple on a ruckback with shapeshifter Falcon and discover Fenrys' coastline has been torched by a Morath legion just marching around for funsies. Meanwhile, Yrene obsessively recounts healing supplies to avoid thinking about the war, and a suspicious hand-to-belly moment that's definitely not foreshadowing anything. Well, we get the reveal that Maeve is secretly a Vogue queen who's been cosplaying as a Fae royal since the dawn of time, filed under wildly unhinged lore drop. We knew that.
Yes.
And everyone in this unit knows that.
But now we know that Yrene is preggers.
We don't know that for sure.
Oh, we know that. Come on. We're not dumb.
Well, she even says there's things that she hasn't yet shared with Chaol.
Right. And she, as a healer, would know that she's pregnant, like, the minute she becomes pregnant. Also, like, they're having a lot of sex.
Yeah.
And this is like some kind of medieval, like, I'm imagining they're not using protection. So
or contraception tonics.
They're not taking their contraception tonics.
And he's a refrigerator of a man, so
he's a refrigerator.
His must be very strong.
Chapter 7. Dorian is spiraling over the fact that the third word key is in Morath and starts subtly sabotaging the 13's gear. Bless his little sneaky heart. To stall their croaken hunt so he can angle towards Erewhon's stronghold instead. I did like this. Mm-hmm. How he was like, and then her thing unclipped, and then you fell off the place.
Right.
It's like,
and Vespa was like, ah! Like, Vespa was like riding her river, and she's like, oh my God.
Yeah, like he's just being a nuisance. All right.
It's not obvious to me, though. I was like, they all know what his magic is. How is this not?
He's got hands. He's got magic hands. Enter Serene, a shape-shifting Stygian spider who used to be Manon's silk supplier before Manon shoved her off a cliff, awkward reunion, who offers up the Crokin's location as a bargaining chip for her life. Dorian, now apparently king of morally gray decisions, spares her, using truth-detecting sword Damaris to confirm she's legit, because her shifting magic might be his backdoor into Morath, and Manon clocks that he's got a death wish the size of a small country. Okay, so Serene is a spider. It seems that most, if not all, of the spiders are women. Yrene can shapeshift because she stole the life force of a shifter she made a bargain with. It's implied that that's Falcon. So interesting that the spider that Manon stole silk from and the spider that Falcon made his deal with is the same spider. Yeah. Kind of wondering how many spiders there are.
Right.
Like there's a lot.
There's like 5 spiders.
Yeah, I thought there were a lot, but I like that. And I haven't looked at these notes, but there's no way that it's going to touch on this point. I like that Dorian's using Damaris to like tell the truth, but there's like one question that he won't ask it, which is, "Am I human?" Because he didn't know if his father was human. So he doesn't know it. He won't. And I know Gemini or Claude wouldn't have picked up that little thing, but he references it a couple times, and I think it's really. He wrestles with it. Yeah.
Has Damaris always had lie detecting?
Probably.
Powers?
Yeah, but he didn't know until
Gavin told
him. Okay. Great. I wasn't sure if I just.
He didn't know how it was going to be a truth teller until he started like touching it and playing around with it. And he was like, "Oh, this is."
Yeah, I think I'm like locked in for that storyline. I think it's so interesting. Mm-hmm. All right, chapter 8. Buckle up. Aelin wakes up in the iron coffin, gets marched through Dornell to Maeve's veranda, is forced to kneel in a bed of dragon glass shards while wearing the literal weight of her ancestry, Mab's crown, Mob, her crown. Maeve reveals she knows exactly where Rowan and the gang are, Terrason not racing to the rescue, ouch, and then in peak psychological warfare offers Connell to speak freely to his twin Fenrys, only for Connell to stab himself in the heart rather than harm his brother. Aelin manages one act of defiance, impaling Cairen's neck with glass and nearly taking out Maeve too, before getting choked into unconsciousness. Certified Pyrrhic victory chapter if there ever was one. This is crazy.
This is wild.
Right.
Yeah.
Connell speaks freely and is basically like, "Fuck you, Fenrys. You took the one thing I had from me by also swearing the blood oath to Maeve. I hate you," basically. And then Maeve's like, "Okay, go do it." And he does it by killing himself.
It's crazy. And then
so I thought the thing that was doing it, I didn't think that there was a conflict there. I thought the thing that was doing it was that he was going to kill himself and he knew it. I don't think he was supposed to kill Fenrys.
I thought he was supposed to kill Fenrys.
I thought he was
I thought he was supposed to kill himself.
So on my I do remember reading on my first read that I thought he was supposed to kill Fenrys. And then he killed himself instead of killing Fenrys because he couldn't do it. This read, I did feel a little bit more like he was supposed to kill himself, but I don't know. I do feel like it was like one last act of defiance type of thing to kill himself instead of killing Fenrys.
Yeah, well, and I think it's along the line, the way she's torturing Fenrys is to make him watch people suffer, right? And so even if he wasn't, like, I could see Maeve playing 4D chess here and being like, go kill Fenrys, knowing that it was a possibility that he would kill himself instead, and that would also be torture for Fenrys.
Right.
I just like she gave him a command, and so to me that was like he knew that do the thing was him going to be killing himself.
Yeah,
she's the worst.
I don't know,
because she said like, "I want you to speak freely so that Fenrys knows that this wasn't influenced by me."
Got it.
But then after that, she gives him really explicit commands, and he kills himself.
Yeah. The next thing I want to say is covered in the next chapter. So,
anyways, it's fucking terrible.
It's terrible. And then kneeling in glass thing.
Yeah, while she's wearing the crown.
Heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Chapter 9, a gutted silent gut punch. You can't be a gutted gut punch. Fenrys shifts to human form to pick shattered glass out of Aelin's legs after watching his twin die, and the two sit in shared wordless grief. Their blink code makes a heartbreaking cameo. 2 blinks. No, he's not all right. And Aelin realizes with a mix of relief and devastating guilt that Rowan is not coming for her because he's protecting Terrason like she asked. Nothing happens plot-wise here except 2 traumatized captives quietly falling apart together, and it absolutely wrecks you anyway. This chapter fucked me up. It's just so sad.
It's so sad. This whole thing is so sad. Like, I told you, and we'll get there in this episode, but like, I had said in the last episode, finishing up the tandem read, I don't know how they're getting out of this. It just seems impossible. And then the longer it goes, I'm like, they're not getting out of this. Like, they can't.
I will say at this point, so I thought that Connell was supposed to kill Fenrys. And so by killing himself, he was resisting the blood oath. And so I thought that was foreshadowing for the fact that Fenrys was going to resist the blood oath. And that was how Aelin was going to get free, which is not wrong.
Right.
Like, it's not 100, but like,
right.
I give myself like
it's part of the equation.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
But again, it's like everything Maeve is doing is about breaking Aelin. So like telling her that Rowan is not coming is part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, chapter 10, we're back in Terrasen. Lysandra tears through Morath's advanced legion in a full-on mud and blood battle, while Aedion strategically outplays Erewhon's 5,000 troops without losing his cool or too many men. Post-battle politics kick in fast. Hot-headed Ravi and level-headed Soul of Surya, plus Ren Allsbrook debate defying Lord Darrow's orders to retreat to Orinth, and the okay. I don't know who any of these fucking people are.
So when I reread this chapter yesterday, I like literally laughed out loud because my first thought was Amanda's gonna hate the fact that we have a new character.
I barely know who Ren is. What the fuck is Surya? Like, I am.
It's where the cereal is from.
Oh.
Whoa.
Yeah, maybe. But we're too late in the series. I'm not accepting new applicants for characters. I'll talk about this at the end, but I'm like, I'm almost halfway through the first Crescent City book. And I just read, there was like one paragraph in Crescent City earlier today where I was like, I don't know what the fuck we're talking about. Like,
that's a lot of
come on. Anyway, I don't know who those people are. But then charismatic ex-thief messenger Knox Owen shows up, delivering Darrow's nice try letter that was clearly pre-written for both outcomes. The chapter closes on Aedion being an absolute jerk to Lysandra when she tries to help, and Lysandra, Lady of Caravere, war hero, dignity intact, goes to bed heartbroken with her boots still on. Here are my thoughts. Aedion's being king bitch right now. Lysandra remains my goat. She's book girlfriend of the year. I do not think anyone will even come close to how I feel about her in the second half of this year. And number 3, I was so stoked when Knox showed up again because I had completely forgotten about him.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this was the first, like, I don't know, I feel like I've been looking for things like that. And so, like, when Falcon showed up, I was like, oh, yeah, that guy. But when Knox showed up, I was like, oh my God. So I don't know. That was fun for me.
Yeah, that's why I love this series. Because of shit like this,
But like, you've been saying that, and so I've been looking for it, but I was not looking for this one. And so that was cool. I think I was only looking for it in Assassin's Blade. And Knox is in Throne of Glass.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just forgotten that happened. So it was really cool. All right, chapter 11. Chaol hosts the world's tensest war council with Yrene, Nezrin, Sartok, and Princess Hazar all staring at a map like it personally offended them. 10,000 Morath soldiers are marching on an Anil? Chaol's hometown.
Chaol.
Well, Chaol is southern, so it must be Anil.
I say Anil.
Anil, Chaol's hometown. And nobody has a good plan except go really fast and hope. Bless you. After some sibling bickering from the rift-told royals of the north, they settle on splitting forces. Hazar and troops march inland, Sartok preps the Rux, and Chaol and Yrene ride ahead to warn his estranged family. Cue Chaol accepting the title Lord Westfall while internally screaming about his dad.
Yeah, we're about to get to his dad stuff soon, so...
Yeah, we'll talk about
he's
that.
The fucking worst.
He's, also king bitch.
Yeah, he reminds me of... when we get to him. It's fine. I need to talk about it now.
Guys, we have so many king bitches.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chapter 12, Aelin is having the worst spa day imaginable. Locked in an iron coffin by Cairen, fully spiraling into despair and crying enough to short-circuit her own mask. Then her dead mother, Evelyn Ashriver, shows up as a fireside pep talk hallucination, hand over Aelin's heart, dropping the instantly iconic mantra, "You do not yield." Aelin proceeds to pound the coffin lid into a warped, nearly broken mess, and the resulting magical roar down the mating bond hits Rowan, Lorcan, and Gavriel like a lightning bolt from Doranel, and Rowan vows to find her. This is another one of those things where, like, I know I'm chronically on Romantasy book talk, so I knew the line, "You do not yield," and so I, again, was waiting for it. This still, like, 10 out of 10 no notes, was such a reveal for that line. I loved it.
I love it. Yeah. And I love that, like, this reverberated down the mating bond, but was actually like a magical pulse.
Yes.
And so we find out in the next few chapters too that other people were like, that's what that was.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's, I don't know. This won't hit for Kim, but Amanda, you've seen Kill Bill too. This is the scene where the bride is in the coffin and fucking 1-inch punching the whole time, you know? So good.
Yeah. I think
Don't know it.
this is the second Kill Bill reference in this book.
Yeah. The first one was Wiggle Bigger Toe.
Wiggle Big Toe, right? I think it is worth, I say it is valid that Sarah J. Maas was inspired by Kill Bill.
I don't hate that.
Like how Rebecca Yarros read like the first chapter about Wyvern and was like, I'm gonna write a whole thing about that.
Whole series.
Right.
Chapter 13. Speaking of Chapter 13, Manon and the 13 track down a Kroken war camp with Dorian and the shape-shifting spider Serene in tow, hands raised, trying very hard not to get skewered on arrival. The Krokens clock Manon's identity immediately. The white demon reputation precedes her, and hostile coven leader Bronwyn is not here for a reunion. Then ancient witch Glennis steps forward and drops the mic. She's Manon's great-grandmother, direct descendant of the Kroken bloodline that supposedly died out. Family reunions have never been this armed. The Kroken, at least Glennis, is the exception to my I'm not accepting applications for new friends rule. Because we needed some Krokens, so like I'm fine with that. I just like I don't care about all the details of this is a problem I have. I don't care. I don't want to read about the war. And I'm always like war is always coming in these series, and like I just don't care.
No, the war is good here. This is a good war.
Mythology.
I like all the other stuff so much more that they get to an Aedion chapter and I'm like
honestly, yes. I don't disagree with you. Up until
my favorite character is there.
Up until a certain point. Like the Aedion chapters are the weakest for the first whatever percentage of this book until they're not.
Yeah, it's fine. This is like it's just personal preference. Like I don't like reading about military strategy.
I think again, I don't know. I think it's just to remind us that the war is happening and it's bad and we're losing. But I don't disagree with you. At this point, when I did get to the Aedion chapters, I was like, okay, we do lose a lot.
I think most people who read fantasy and romantasy like reading about the war. I just don't care about the war.
Oh, you're saying war. I thought you said lore. And I was like, who the hell are you? You fucking love lore.
I love lore.
Okay.
I hate war.
Sorry, you hate the war. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like reading about the war.
But this isn't
There's a lot of war.
This isn't the war. To me, this isn't the war. This is we're reminding you that it's happening. The war is later, like when all the players are there, type of thing.
Okay, maybe I need to use a different word. I don't like reading about the battlefield.
Yes, I'm with you.
I find it boring.
I'm with you on that.
In every book. Like, this is not a Throne of Glass problem. This is like, in every series we read, war is always coming, and I'm always bored on the battlefield.
Remember the second from Blood and Ash, where they, like, fucked on the battlefield?
Hashtag never forget. Chapter 14. Just as diplomacy is getting somewhere, an Iron Teeth Yellowlegs patrol, 2 full covens, swoops in and turns the camp into a battlefield. I just said battlefield. Manon and her 13 tear through wyverns with terrifying efficiency, while Dorian unleashes ice spears and eventually goes full living flame mode, melting straight through a wyvern's jaws. Rude, but effective. When accused of leading the enemy to camp, Manon flat out lies to Glennis's face, and Dorian, watching her do it, files that away for later with visible unease.
Some would say that love is a battlefield.
Someone. Chapter 15.
I will say one thing. I thought the interesting thing in this chapter was how Dorian froze.
Yeah.
And so he like saw someone get their head chopped off and had this total flashback to Sorcha and like completely froze as he was being attacked.
Almost as though none of the men in this book are equipped to handle trauma.
Right.
Leave us alone.
No. Chapter 15. Post-battle, Glennis finally spills the Croken survival story. Her mother smuggled baby Rhiannon out during the fall of the Witch City, while the real queen sacrificed herself as a decoy. Girl boss energy from 1,000 years ago and counting. We also learn only a true Croken queen can light the flame of war to summon the scattered clans. And Glennis reveals the camp is actually headed to Elwë, not Terrasen, a plot twist nobody asked for. Also, Manon and Dorian finally stop pretending they're, quote, just talking strategy and hook up twice because apparently trauma bonding works both ways. Girl boss Easter egg of the batch.
I didn't ask you for this.
The humble cauldron of goat stew. Never named, never thanked, but single-handedly responsible for brokering peace between two warring witch bloodlines because nothing says trust me like sharing a meal. I agree.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Chapter 16. Darrow, and Aedion have their usual...
Darrow's the bad guy.
Maeve's the bad guy.
No, Darrow's the guy who was like, you're not the queen, Aelin. Fuck out of here.
Right. The Terrasen bad guy.
Yeah. Darrow and Aedion have their usual I hate you, but we still need each other war council energy, while the terrestrial army debates strategy, march to the border, or hunker down in Orinth. Lysandra, still cosplaying as Aelin, holds her own against skeptical lords like Sloane and Gunnar. Backed by Ansel of Briarcliff, the Fey Royals, and a very supportive Prince Galen. The vote splits, tension simmers, and then a random messenger turns out to be a Volg demon who blasts dark magic across the war tent right as the chapter cuts off. Cliffhangers, the podcast's true love language.
What?
Chapter 7.
Go ahead.
It's a cliffhanger. Oh. Chapter 17, the Volg messenger slices Lysandra's arm before Aedion beheads him with the Sword of Orinth, but not before the demon telepathically snitches to Erewhon that Aelin isn't actually present. Very bad news. Nox Owen, plot twist favorite, reveals he recognizes Lysandra as Selena/Aelin. Nox recognizes Aelin because he knew Selena, right. And he knows that that's not actually her because she didn't recognize him back. Mm-hmm. So he knows that Lysandra is cosplaying as Aelin, who Nox knew as Selena. From his rebel spy days and pledges loyalty instead of blackmail, character growth, Aedion decides to defy the Lord's vote and march to the border anyway, and in a delightfully petty finale, the crew drugs Darrow, Sloane, Gunnar, and Ironwood's wine and sneaks the entire army away overnight. Girl boss move of the century.
I did like the Nox part though, where he was like, You're not her. And she's like, no, I totally am. And he's just like, then who am I?
I love it. And also, Lysandra needed somebody to know it wasn't her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
And I'm grateful that Nox is that guy. He seems trustworthy. I hope he doesn't betray us. I like him up to this point in the series. But I like that she has somebody who knows that it's not her, because I think Aedion would be the only one there that would know that, right? And he's being such a dick to her that, like, I want her to have a friend.
Right. She can be like, oh, thank God. Somebody knows. Like, I can just, like, be myself.
To be seen, to be known, I think is important.
Totally.
To be ghost leopard. To be bird.
Ghost leopard. Never mind. I'll look for it later.
Chapter 18. Chaol and Yrene touch down at Anil and Westfall Keep, a grim, loveless pile of gray stone that perfectly matches Chaol's daddy issues. They face off with Lord Westfall Sr., a certified cold-hearted jerk who insults Yrene, brings up Selena/Aelin just to be cruel, and generally reminds everyone why Chaol left. Yrene, however, absolutely eviscerates him with a speech about her Tori Sesame credentials, and Chaol's diplomatic wins cement in her as this episode's certified banter MVP.
I hate Chaol's dad.
Chaol's dad gives Ilya's dad energy.
I'm gonna see if I can find exactly who I think who he reminds me of. So I'm just gonna need a minute.
Is it Ilya Rosanov's dad?
It is not Ilya Rosanov's dad.
But do you see where I'm coming from? Like,
Yeah.
Ilya's dad is like, not his son is like literally the number one draft pick, like led Russia to some fucking championships, like, you know, won all of these awards for the Boston Raiders / Boston Bears, depending on what, if you're reading or watching. And like nothing he in like bankrolls his entire family, and like nothing he does is ever good enough. And he still is like, that's my son, he's lazy. And that's how Chaol's dad is acting here, where he's like, this guy is, my son is fucking worthless. And the way that he comes for Yrene, and the way that Yrene is like,
oh yeah,
she's such a badass in this chapter, a girl boss, if you will.
Where he's like, oh, you actually had bagged a queen, and then you managed to give her up. Cool. Yeah. And
oh, for the help.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Julia did send us a 2-minute voice memo defending Tower of Dawn. So I can play that later, or I can play it now.
Let's get through the episode first.
Okay. All right. Rick, did you find who you're talking about?
No, not yet, but I'll get back to it. I'm trying to find it.
Chapter 19, a tender, much-needed breather. I'm not going to keep reading these chapters in a Southern accent. A tender, much-needed breather. Chaol and Yrene decompress post-father trauma in a tiny guest bedroom, discuss Anil's hidden treasure vaults and evacuation logistics through the mountains, and Yrene volunteers to organize keep supplies and healers like the absolute logistical queen she is. Naturally, war can wait until morning. Translates to some well-earned married couple soup. Dawn breaks with the arrival of 1,000 Ruks, plus Nezrin, Sartok, and the Shifter Falcon, confirming Morath's army is 3 to 4 days out with no witches spotted for now.
All right, I found it. Who I am talking about. You're not going to know the name. You're going to know the character. So if you guys want to grab your phone real quick, you're going to type in Denethor, Denethor space the second. He's from Lord of the Rings. He's this guy that, I don't know. It's this guy.
He's this guy. Oh yeah, the guy who ran off the cliff.
The guy who ran off the cliff. I think it's in Return of the King. The guy Amanda's showing him.
And he tried to put his son on the pyre even though he was still alive.
Right. That's both reads. This is exactly who I thought Chaol's dad was the entire time.
Yeah.
That's the fan cast. That's who should play him.
Yes.
Yeah. Fuck that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, seriously.
Fuck it. Fuck, it's upset. All right, chapter 20. Gut punch chapter alert. Aelin is trapped. This chapter. Okay. Aelin is trapped in a gorgeous, Maeve-crafted hallucination of a peaceful life at Dornell with a living Rowan, complete with a fairy tale within the fairy tale about a world-walking queen and the word keys, until the illusion shatters and we're back to the real horror show. Aelin shackled and broken on the altar, her body racked by magic suppression pressure, while Maeve reveals she's leaving to retrieve a wordstone collar to permanently enslave her. Fenrys silently reassures her via blinked messages, and the chapter ends with Cairen dragging Aelin's iron coffin off to, quote, somewhere more secure, gleefully promising alone time. Bleak, 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 bleak. Like blink, blink, blink.
Yeah, that's what I thought too when I was looking at it. This is terrible. I hate this.
Right? Again, like we said, like the depth of the torture that Maeve is able to inflict, both through her and through Cairen, is really intense. And so, yeah, this is really fucking hard to read.
I do love how these chapters, though, especially this one, like show how smart Maeve is, though, where she's like, okay, fine, I can't torture it out of her, but maybe I can trick her and making her think she's in another world and pulling the information out of her. Also, this was another really good lore dump about Maeve's backstory in like this really smart way.
And mirrors the way that Aelin is like, once upon a time, there was a princess who so loved her kingdom. Like, it mirrors that story very well.
Yeah.
In, like, linguistically, I mean. Yeah, it's crazy.
Right. And now Maeve is blah, 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 flopping away.
Yep.
And she's left with Cairen.
Who is awful.
Awful.
Chapter 21. Rowan, Gavriel, Lorcan, and Alid finally crest the hills above Dornell and immediately discover Maeve brought her entire army to a garden party nobody invited them to. Cute. After some tense bickering about trust and jurisdiction, Lorcan really said, "You're not my commander," energy. Alid drops the mic. She's going undercover to ask around about Cairen, her ex-captor, because nothing says casual reconnaissance like hunting down your own trauma. Rowan, technically her superior, blesses the plan with a very ominous, "Good hunting, lady." Nobody consults Lorcan's blood pressure.
Poor Lorcan.
And Alita's still like, "Don't fucking touch me."
Yeah.
Right.
So.
And Alid, girl boss energy.
Girl boss energy.
is like, I'm going to go do the thing because none of y'all can do it.
I'm fidgeting with a paintbrush in case you're watching and need to know why I have this in my hand. I always need to have something in my hand when we're recording. Do you guys do that? Wow. Okay. Chapter 22, Lysandra, rocking her falcon form because she contains multitudes, flies south to scout and finds Morath's army casually strolling toward Terrasen. 50,000 troops led by 5 Volg princes in matching black collars. Très menacing. She books it home just in time for the actual battle to kick off, where the Bane gets absolutely shredded by Ilkin, and nobody notices that Aelin the Firebringer is suspiciously catastrophically MIA. 25,000 versus 50,000 is not great math, and Sarah J. Maas wants you to feel every single soldier.
And she does.
She does.
Yeah, man, this is crazy. I feel like I keep saying that. Why does nobody notice that she's not lighting shit on fire?
Right. It does feel kind of like a big plot hole to me, where it's just like everyone's like, oh, okay, we lost this battle. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Chapter 23, Alid cosplays as a heartbroken mortal ex-girlfriend to pump face soldiers for Cairen intel, weaponizing a tiny shaving mirror and crushed berries like the tactical genius nobody's crediting her for. Girl boss behavior,
That's right.
Unbothered by her lack of magic. She's one of the only non-magical, it's like her and Chaol are like really the only non-magical creatures.
And they're pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really are.
Yeah.
Cool. She learns Maeve has left Dornell and then gets cornered by the gorgeous Asar.
Yeah. Why not?
Who turns out to be Lorcan's ex, and shockingly, a genuinely good person who tips her off that Cairen is hiding in the Eastern camp. Cue an entire alliance built on one awkward small world moment between exes. I was kind of surprised by this.
Why?
Yeah.
That she happened to wander into a bar and happened to find somebody helpful.
Oh, yeah. I mean, what I was literally just thought of right now was Asar was like, I want to help you because, you're helping my friends. And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. She's like, you're helping Lorcan. You're wearing his shirt. And I'm like, does Lorcan only have one shirt?
Maybe.
Does he only have the one?
It's his favorite shirt.
Does it say like...
Okay, but my thought, which they talk about so much, they were like, the Fae can't go in to the city because A, they're recognized, but also they'll be able to like scent their magic and such. And I was like, she's wearing their clothes that have been in their packs for weeks. So like, they smell like them. And so, yeah, so someone who knows them could be like, oh, that smells like fucking Lorcan.
And they're not just like any Fae, right? Like they are the
Fae.
Cadre. Like people know them.
But she
it's like,
but it's, go ahead.
Like she's walking into New York City wearing Taylor Swift's Reputation bodysuit and is like, why do people know that I'm here with Taylor Swift?
Right, exactly.
She's like, how do you know I know Lorcan? She's like, you're wearing Lorcan's Sunball jersey.
I don't know anything about Sunball.
Nobody knows anything about Sunball.
I love it so much. Okay. Chapter 24. Over at Camp Croken, Manon collects brooms and side-eye from witches who still hate her family's guts while learning her wyvern Abraxas is apparently in a committed romance with Yrene the Blue Mare. Bestie really said, love conquers dark magic origin story. I loved this. And the way the chapter ends with Abraxas being like, bitch, you didn't notice?
Did you just figure this out?
So that's Astern's wyvern.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is cute. I love when my friends are friends. I
Yeah.
love
Also, I just want to picture like Abraxas bringing wildflowers to Noreen. Or them like sitting in a field of wildflowers and smelling them together.
I love them. Yeah. And also, I've been picturing Yrene the Blue Mare as Sigale. So, but Abraxas is like nothing like Terran.
He's like Taryn Darna.
Terran Darna.
Eagle.
Meanwhile, Dorian attempts shape-shifting via emotional repression, as one does, after a tent-sharing argument about caring being weakness, wakes up with brown eyes and zero explanation offered to Manon. Nobody in this camp knows how to communicate, but at least the wyverns have their act together. So basically, the spider told him... Has he killed the spider yet? He kills the spider.
Already,
I don't know if we talked about that.
It didn't go over that, yeah.
It was at the end of the battle.
Yeah. The spider was like, you have raw magic, you can train it to be whatever you want. So just decide you want to shapeshift and you'll be able to. And so he's been trying to self-loathe himself into shapeshifting. And this is the chapter where he realizes he can't self-loathe himself into shapeshifting. He has to like
unload himself.
He has to like realize that he is creating the version of himself. And he gets here in a few chapters, but like he's creating the version of himself that he wants to.
Yeah.
Rather than worrying about who he is.
More therapy.
The men in this book, Aedion is like abandonment issues. Dorian is like, am I a bad person? And Chaol is like, am I a bad person? Yeah.
I am overwhelmed by feelings of obligations to others.
Yeah. Oh my God, get it together. All right, chapter 25. Aelin, chained to a table by the genuinely unhinged Cairen, is about to get set on fire to destroy her relationship with Flame itself. Cool, very fine, not devastating at all. When she rasps out, wait, right as he raises the flint. And she hasn't been talking to him like this whole time. Simultaneously, Rowan launches his one-man invasion of the Eastern camp, ripping the air from soldiers' lungs with icy, terrifying precision, while Lorcan and Gavriel wait for his signal and sense death already in motion. Dawn is breaking, the cavalry is coming, and the tension is doing violence to all of our nervous systems. I'm going to keep going. Just stop me. Mm-hmm. Chapter 26, Aelin, chained and masked, decides her final act of defiance is roasting Cairen with premium-grade insults about his masculinity. Genuinely unhinged competence kink content, 10 out of 10, no notes. He responds by literally slamming her face into a table and dragging her towards a brazier, which is like a fireplace. Mm-hmm. I looked it up. To melt her connection to fire itself, and things get devastating fast. Meanwhile, Fenrys, bound by his blood oath to Maeve, watches Aelin's small, hopeless sound break something in him, and he starts physically fighting the magical chain, enslaving him, which should be impossible, and also, I'm not going to say might kill him, also will kill him.
Yeah.
So Aelin's getting beat to shit, and she basically is doing this because she's like, she wants to die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so she's like, I'm just going to push Fenrys so far that he can't stop himself, and he kills him. Yeah, sorry, Cairen. Sorry, Fenrys. And also push Fenrys so far that he can't stop himself, but in a good way. So in chapter 27, Fenrys straight up shatters his blood oath, RIP to his life expectancy, we hardly knew ye, and tackles Cairen while screaming, run, at Aelin with his eyes. Aelin showing peak competence kink. This is like, it really wants to say the phrase competence kink.
It knows who I am. Apparently that's one of my things that I like about reading.
Uses the abandoned red hot poker to melt through her own ankle chains and sprints out of the tent while Wolf and Torturer brawl behind her. Simultaneously, Rowan is 2 miles out, mowing down soldiers like a one-man apocalypse, closing in on Cairen's tent with 0 chill remaining. Chapter 28, Aelin, iron-masked and bleeding, Bookclub sprints across the camp and does the single most badass thing in this arc, catches an enemy sword strike exactly on her wrist chains to snap them free, then steals his sword and starts murdering her way to freedom. I'm going to add here, like, reminding us that she's an assassin.
Right. They did a good job there saying, like, she has no magic, but she doesn't need magic.
Yeah, she's like covered in iron still. Lorcan spots her, has a full emotional crisis mid-battle, and he and Gavriel in shield mode run interference against arrow volleys while Rowan finally reaches her at the tree line. The gut punch, Aelin's first word isn't relief, it's Fenrys, because she left him behind with Cairen, and Rowan's rage instantly redirects. I want to talk about Rowan here for a second. He has not seen her since he learned that they're mates.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't see her get hauled off by Maeve because he didn't make it to her in time. He's been sending messages down the bond. He's been literally scouring the earth for her, and he finally sees her, and the first thing he has to do is leave her.
Yeah.
That's rough.
But he has to leave her for, I mean,
I
are
know.
they friends? But you know, like at least a compatriot for.
Totally. But
and to get Cairen.
It's the right thing to do. Like it
I know
is the right thing to do. And also you gotta imagine that there's like a line in his head where he's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Right. Yeah.
Like you couldn't have just killed the dude and brought our friend. Like, of course not. But like universe, you couldn't have just done me the solid where I get to be with my mate.
Right.
But he doesn't. All right. Chapter 29, Rowan and Gavriel, he brings Gavriel with him, infiltrate Cairen's tent and find Fenrys still in wolf form, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
still in wolf form.
Unconscious, but alive, plus the horror movie set dressing of the iron coffin box, torture table, tool tray that Aelin endured. He sees that the box is warped and repaired. Rowan orders Gavriel to heal both Fenrys and Cairen, not out of mercy, but because he wants Cairen conscious for what comes next. Cairen wakes up to Rowan holding a surgical blade with icy murderous calm and audibly loses control of his bladder. Rowan seals the tent so nobody hears what happens next. Vengeance incoming. I'm glad we didn't see this.
I'm so glad, right? Yeah.
It would have been
the first time. I thought it the second time too, where I was just like, oh, this is like, talk about a bloody scene.
And I understand, like, I don't trust a death or anything that happens off screen, but like, I don't want to be in that tent with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we get to in this chapter as he tells her what he did? Or no?
I don't know.
Okay.
If we do, I don't remember.
All right.
Chapter 30, a lead who's been white-knuckling it in the forest glen all morning finally sees Aelin stagger in, wearing her full torture mask and chains starter pack. What's happening?
What? What's going on? Who and the what now?
My fan stopped being a fan. All right, a lead who's been white-knuckling it in the forest glen all morning finally sees Aelin stagger in wearing her full torture mask and chains starter pack, and it's every bit as harrowing as it sounds. The group can't pick the impossibly complex locks, even magic won't budge them, until a lead remembers Manon and Dorian have the word keys, and Aelin, unable to use her own blood magic through the iron, has to guide Rowan's bloodied finger to trace the word mark and free herself piece by piece, because she's got gauntlets on, which are made of iron, so she can't do the word mark.
Right.
Because it won't work. So she grabs Rowan's hand and draws it. The final reveal is the gut punch of the whole book. When the mask comes off and the fire burns away the illusion, every single scar Aelin ever had is gone. The scars on her back, the mating bond, everything is gone. And I guess this is the first line of the next section. Rowan clocks that Aelin's scars are completely gone. Every mark from Endovier, Cairen's whipping, even her Carnom bond scar and her bond scar with Anhemia, because Maeve's healers gave her literal new skin to keep the torture assembly line running. Cool. Extremely fine. I feel like there's another book we read where like somebody is like tortured and healed over and over and over again. I don't remember what it is.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
I don't know.
It's probably like Phantasma or Enchantra because that's kind of like the whole vibe, but I'm thinking specifically like this.
Yeah.
It's also, is that Prometheus, the dude with the liver?
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know if it's Prometheus.
I think it's Prometheus, who Zeus, like, he steals fire for humans, and so Zeus, like, straps him to the mountain, and Eagle eats his liver.
That's
Vulture
Prometheus. Yeah.
eats his liver every day, and then every night his liver regenerates.
Mm-hmm.
Zeus, the original girl boss. Just kidding. The original bad guy. All right. Aelin uses her claw to open her own vein and offer her blood to dying Fenrys. So, okay, I don't want to say it like that. So Fenrys is like dying over there because his blood oath has been severed out of sheer will and love for his friend Aelin, who he's experienced something harrowing with. She lights herself on fire. Has she done that yet?
Yeah, she did. She did this before this.
She's on fire.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Because her magic hasn't been able to release in months. So she is literally burning flame. She walks up to him and we don't hear their conversation. We're in Rowan's perspective. And so we just see her offer him blood. And so freed from a blood oath, he's now taken another blood oath so that he'll live.
Yeah.
Which is emotional.
And they're all shocked by it. They can't, like, they're like, yeah, I really thought he was going to die. I didn't see this coming. There was something. So what did I want to say about something? I wanted to say, oh yeah. So aside from like the torture scenes in the beginning, this might have been like, this part might have been worse for me than the torture scenes. Like specifically the part where she's freaking out and she's saying, "Take it off."
Take it off.
Take it off. Yeah.
Like that was really hard. And like discovering how bad the torture was with no scars on her. Yeah. So it was written really well, you know?
Yeah, I think it's hard to convey such brutality without writing gore.
Yeah.
And so I'm really impressed with the way that Sarah does this. I think it's so masterful to make it so, to use Claude's phrase, gut punching, without making me read
what happened.
A horror novel.
Yeah.
I really thought Fenrys was going to die. We haven't had, and I know things are coming, we haven't had a major death in like 3 books.
It's true.
Yeah.
So all of them.
And it started out really hard and heavy with like Sam dying in Assassin's Blade, and then Nehemia so quickly in Throne of Glass.
Sorsha.
So you're right.
Sorsha, the king.
We've had major deaths, and yet here we are. So.
Yeah. Even like even like Falcon and like, Glennis, like people who are like more minor characters, or like any of the fucking, like the pregnant princess didn't die.
Right.
We've really only killed bad guys for many pages. All right, where are we? Okay.
32.
We're still on 31. So offers her blood to a dying Fenrys, swearing him into her court and commanding him to live until he actually does, bowing to his new queen. I just want to add, Aedion's going to have feelings about this. The same. Then the mysterious little folk show up and lead the whole crew to a secret magic-lit cave where a catatonic Aelin just lies down like she's checked out of her own body entirely. I imagine this, that she's like walking into like a cute little salt cave spa, and she just like finds her little massage bed and she's like, "Good night." Which she deserves.
Also, as one of your ripped bodice bingo squares, here are canoes again.
Here are canoes again.
Here are canoes again.
Told you there would be more canoes.
I'm never finishing this bingo board. It's fine. All right, chapter 32. Dorian is out here doing full glow-up experimentation, cycling through brown eyes, green eyes, and sickly golden hair, trying to master shape-shifting via emotional vulnerability. Very on brand for a repressed king. My headcanon here is that, I know we've talked about how Dorian has blonde guy energy. My headcanon here is this is Sarah nodding to the fans saying that by making him blonde, and then the witches being like, "Oh."
Yeah.
Glennis asks the 13 a loaded question about whether the Crokins would ever rebuild their home in the Wastes, planting some serious found family, found nation energy for Manon. The vibes shatter completely when shadows report the Elwë rendezvous site, quote, "reeks of death." Never a good sign. Chapter 33, Manon and the 13 arrive to a full massacre. The Elwë warband and some Crokins wiped out by an Iron Teeth aerial legion, aka Manon's old signature move, and the guilt hits her like a truck. In a genuinely gorgeous character arc moment, Manon refuses to let Dorian burn the bodies and instead has only the 13 dig graves by hand, atoning without asking for forgiveness. I love this.
Mm-hmm.
One of the Crokin witches is like, starts to help, and Manon is like,
No.
Only the 13. And Glennis had told her, like, you got to figure out how to connect with these people. Like, there is no roadmap. And so this is, I think, Manon
doing something.
Starting to do. Yeah. All right. Later, Dorian accidentally summons Caltaine Rompier's ghost instead of Gavin. Hey, bestie. Getting brutally honest wisdom about worthiness and letting go. And finally, actually successfully shapeshifts into a raven right as Manon catches him red-handed sneaking off towards Morath. He's not sneaking off, but he's talking about it.
Yeah.
We love some growth for a man. And this is Caltaine being like, stop wondering about whether or not you're a bad person and just be a good person.
Be good. Yeah.
Which is like become the king you want to be, rather than wondering if you were ever the prince you should have been.
Yeah.
And I forgot she was here, so I was happy to see her.
Yeah. All right. Chapter 34, our last chapter. Aedion and Galen Ash River are getting demolished on the... Wait. Why is it Ash River and it's Lysandra?
Don't ask questions.
Why did I say Ash River?
You're wrong.
Aedion and Galen
Ash River
are getting demolished on the southern front. 3 days of fighting, no Aelin, no fire, and Morath's forces just keep coming. So they order a full retreat towards Parenth, hoping to use the frozen Lannis River as a checkpoint. Lysandra, exhausted from impersonating Aelin without any actual firepower, drags a dead soldier's body home, frozen to her horse form. That's crazy.
Yeah.
She's a horse. She's dragging this guy. He dies on her back.
Frozen.
He gets the blood freezes, and then a bunch of people have to like clean her as horse. Unclear whether they know that she's Lysandra or not. I do think if you're part of this warband, like anything could be Lysandra at any given time.
Yeah.
So you just gotta like treat everybody like they're like a vicious queen. All right. Things go from bad to worse when Aedion absolutely eviscerates her for the bullshit plan to let the real queen vanish. It's brutal, unfair, and devastating. Lysandra takes it standing, barefoot, in the snow, while Aedion sits alone with his own guilt and a dying fire. Sit in the corner and think about what you did.
Exactly, right? Yes. Yeah. Like, I hope that fire dies.
This bitch sent Lysandra out in the snow naked.
It's insane.
I don't even understand.
Like, she's literally doing everything. She's doing all the heavy lifting.
She's obeying Aelin's orders.
Right.
Right. Her queen. Their queen. Like, she's
even like, I don't agree that he should be mad at her for doing these things because she is doing it for the kingdom. But like, even if you don't agree with what she's doing, she's not the one you're mad at.
Right.
Right.
You're mad at Aelin.
Right.
Right. And treat her, like, acknowledge her humanity also, of like, stop literally leaving her out in the cold like this.
You told her you were going to marry her someday.
He's the worst.
I don't know how he comes back from this. This is like, I believe that Aelin's going to get out of the iron coffin. I do not believe that I'm going to stop hating Aedion.
Yeah.
So we'll see. All right.
We did it.
Those are our chapters.
Did it.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen next. Everyone is slowly coming to, well, everyone's kind of in their own place, but they're going to have to come together.
Will someone die?
Somebody's going to die.
Who's going to die?
I have no idea.
If you had to pick right now.
I really thought we were going to lose Fenrys because losing somebody from the cadre made sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
If we're going to lose somebody else from the cadre, I don't really know who it makes sense for it to be. I guess maybe Lorcan. is going to have to die for the cause to kind of redeem himself. I don't know. I don't think Aedion dying for the cause would redeem him. So I hope that that's not how he redeems himself. I don't know. I think that a secondary character like an Astrin or like a member of the cadre, like I think those could be devastating without like our main people at this point, in my opinion, are like Rowan, Dorian, Chaol, who can't die unless Yrene also dies, Aelin, obviously, Banon, Aedion, and Lysandra.
Well, two things. This was my thought, my first read at this point. I was like, well, to me, you just made it that Chaol cannot die because you're not going to kill a pregnant woman.
Yeah.
That was my original thought. So that was my thought going into this first reading. So I was like, Chaol's safe.
And you're not going to orphan a newborn.
Right.
Right. Yeah. I agree. I thought they both could have died until she became pregnant. And then it was
unless she loses the baby, which is also possible.
What about, doesn't Aelin or Dorian have to die?
Aelin or Dorian has to die. Everything I've ever read in the history of the world says the main character, the Jesus figure, he's got to die for our sins. And then also he's going to get resurrected. So like, I believe Aelin will die and not die. That's how I think this will end. Alternatively, Dorian might die. But I don't think Aelin like dies, and that's how it ends.
My initial read thoughts were, once we learned that Dorian was a second option, I thought he was going to die. Sort of as a redemption for his dad.
The easiest
type of thing.
That's the easiest solution,
right,
to this problem.
Right.
And they'll obviously fight about it. Type of thing. Again, these are all thoughts from a year ago. So.
Yeah.
All right.
But I'm thinking like Harry at the end of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Literally Jesus.
Neo.
There
you go.
Luke lost a hand.
Darth Vader died. Anakin
died.
That's
different though.
Is it?
He died. Yeah, Darth Vader died to redeem himself.
Like Dorian.
Maybe.
I don't know if Dorian needs to redeem
himself. I
mean, Dorian thinks he needs to redeem himself.
Not Rowan. Like Lurken. Like Lurken could die to redeem himself. Yeah. But I don't think Dorian doesn't need to redeem himself. He needs to become the person he wants to be.
Right.
Right, but he thinks.
But now I think I hope that Kaltain's message is sticking with him. So now I hope he knows that that's not what he has to do.
Okay.
I would like to play Julia's voice memo. I said.
We're just waiting for Amanda to pull up Julia's voice.
I said, we're recording right now. Do you want to send a voice note about Chaol, Yrene defending Tower of Dawn for us to play? I'm going to try. I think if I play it like from my phone into my microphone, is that going to work? Do we think?
I don't remember.
It should. We'll tell you.
I'm going to turn the fan off. Okay.
Hi, Rick and Roses. This is Julia, Amanda's sister. I wanted to send in a little voice memo about, you're going to make fun of how Southern I sound when I'm saying his name, Chaol. Maybe not so much in defense of Chaol, but in empathy with Chaol. I'm a neurophysical therapist. My background is in treating brain injury in people after athletic injury or after combat-related injuries. And Chaol just screams PTSD to me. And it feels very much like our beloved author did her research and designed him to be authentic with that population. I think if he was more likable, it wouldn't be realistic. I think when we see him reacting to Aelin in a very nitpicky way, where he's kind of, picking on her actions, and where he's like, oh my gosh, how could you, the assassin, go off and assassinate people? To me, that is very consistent with a PTSD population where it's coming from a place of anxiety and needing to control something. And it's coming from a place of not having the tools to process feelings about the complicated part of killing people, and how you have to really divorce your humanity from your duty. I was talking with a friend the other day about the tandem read, and she was saying that she really doesn't like how Yrene has to kind of weaken herself in order to heal him. And I actually kind of love that piece of it, because when you are a healer in a mythical world or in modern medicine, taking care of others does deplete you, and taking care of someone who is so emotionally complicated and physically complicated is heavy. And I think that it does weaken you, and that's something they teach us in healthcare. It's like how to set boundaries emotionally with things like that, and how to take care of yourself along the way. And there's even some cultures throughout the world who, when they're working on healing other people, will like have these kind of energy practices and rituals where they have to kind of cleanse themselves of what was depleted from them as they were taking care of someone else. So I love this nuance. I love the Chaol story arc in Tower of Dawn. I feel like it was very true, and I appreciated it.
All right. Thank you, Julia.
Yeah, I love that. I will say I was very reflecting on that, and as somebody who has the word counseling in my title, I have been through a number of like true counseling trainings over the course of my career. And I actually think it's something that all educators should go through, because a lot of it is about setting emotional boundaries, and understanding how to sort of keep peace with yourself. And I think teachers don't get enough of that and need more of it, because they're on the front lines too, just like healthcare, just like counselors, just like etc. So
absolutely. She's been talking to me about that a lot as she's been reading, / listening. She did a lot of audiobooking, which I guess means it really is Yrene, which is annoying. I think that's like an important take, on like specifically the PTSD that occurs in combat injuries, which is like a population that I think Julia knows a lot about. And I think like war is always coming in these books, and I don't think it's always written from someone who like actually understands like a military mentality. And so I appreciate kind of the complicatedness of that.
So I have both my stepsister and then my stepsister-in-law are both psychologists, and both work with Veterans Affairs, the VA, and both work with PTSD patients in the VA. So also thanks for this, Julia. I now want to go and like text Niffy and Corey and be like, hey, let's talk about this.
I read this book.
Right. I'm like, you all have been doing this for 25 years. Tell me more. So thank you for that. Yeah, that's helpful.
All right. What else are we? Your homework is to finish part 1. I'm going to look up how many chapters that is right now. It is chapters 35 through 67. So you're going to stop when you see part 2, which is chapter 68. What else are we reading?
What are you reading, Kim?
Nothing. Nothing. I have been traveling. I am with my mom and who I call my German sister, Ani, who was an exchange student who lived with us when I was in high school, and who's been a member of the family ever since. And so, there have been no books in my life. And I've been like going to Noah Khan concerts and all kinds of stuff.
I am only reading Kingdom of Ash. I have a little less than 5 hours to finish the book. And go ahead. I've set up, so what I'll be reading next is I'm doing the whole Maas verse again, to catch up to Akasar 6. But in between that, I think I've earned short books, but really short books to supplement the 1,000 pages that I'll be reading, to add to my book count for the year. So I'm going to read this. It's on It's on Goodreads, so it counts as a book. It's 29 pages.
Pizza my heart.
It's called Tales of Cupidity. It's from A.K. Caggiano. She wrote the purple cover book. So I'm going to read that, and then I'm going to read all of Heartstoppers, because I think I can read those in like 3 hours, and that counts as 6 books. Then I'll go into ACOTAR.
You're going to love Heartstopper. I need to read the new one, but I don't want to buy it because I want to buy the box set. So I think one day this week I'm just going to like sit in a Barnes & Noble and read it a la how I used to read books in high school. I don't recommend reading Crescent City and Throne of Glass at the same time. It's not fun, but I am about 40% of the way through the first Crescent City book, which is The House of Something and Something. I am enjoying it more and more.
Yes, you are.
But then there will be a chapter where I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So like, I like Hunt. I find Bryce annoying, but I am interested in, again, from a trauma perspective, I am interested in her growth. I also like her fuck ass ponytail. I am interested in Rune. So like I'm interested in like finding, like I'm interested in the characters. I'm interested in the mystery. There's too much lore in this book. It's like Sarah was like, oh, you thought Throne of Glass was a lot to hold in your brain? Let me put that on steroids. I'm letting it flow in one ear and out the other. But then I'll hit a chapter and I'll be like, wait, is this new or is this something I'm supposed to remember? And then I just don't.
But it's less and less.
I would say I'm reading Crescent City more casually than I read Throne of Glass. I will not be able to talk about it this eloquently.
That's okay. We're going to do them fast anyways. So we need to not talk about them.
Right. There'll be speed runs. There'll be one episode per book.
But light it up.
Yeah. And it's quotable already. So I'm into that. I keep forgetting that he's an angel and that he has wings. And then they mention his wings and I'm like, oh.
And then he just flies and you're like, whoa, wait.
Wingspan.
He just flew. And I was like, he just flew her. And I was like, oh, okay.
What's the little creature's name?
I think it's Syrinx.
Oh.
That's what I say. I say Syrinx.
Okay.
What do you say?
Syrinx.
It's why I couldn't name it. It's why I couldn't name a cat because I was like, it just doesn't roll off the tongue.
Yeah. Syrinx rolls off the tongue better, but I think it's Syrinx.
I think it's Syrinx.
That's fine.
Also, then there is a Sphinx, and I'm like, that's too close. That's too close. I also listened to a book called The X Vows, and it was fine. 3.5 stars. It was cute. I did it for my wedding party square. I liked the soup in this book. It was good soup. But I found the main character annoying.
But you know who's not annoying?
Has Hunt...
Lahaba.
I love her. Has Hunt stayed outside her apartment?
Yeah, I mean, he's in her apartment now.
He's in her apartment now.
But is he outside the apartment?
Because like
he's outside before he's inside.
Right. Because like when he stayed outside the apartment and Syrinx like showed up on the roof with him.
Yeah.
And I loved that because it was that moment where it was like the Chimera doesn't need to be crated because the Chimera could do whatever the fuck the Chimera wants to do.
The Chimera likes having a crate because it's a safe little den.
Right, exactly. But it's like totally happy to like wait for Bryce to come home and like actually be a little dog, even though
it's so cute.
Love it.
I want a Chimera.
Light it up, bitch.
Light it up.
Light it up. All right. That's our show. Read the rest of part 1.
Bye.
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 Ooh.